The Scarlet Letter, written by Nathaniel Hawthorne in 1850, is set in 17th century Puritan Massachusetts. The novel explores themes of sin, guilt, and redemption through the life of Hester Prynne, a young woman who has committed adultery and bears an illegitimate child. The story begins with Hester standing on a scaffold in the town square, holding her infant daughter, Pearl. For her sin of adultery, she is publicly shamed and forced to wear a scarlet A for adulteress on her chest. Despite the humiliation, Hester is resolute, refusing to reveal the identity of her lover. She becomes an outcast but remains in the village, raising Pearl on her own. Hester's lover, however, is the town's respected minister, Roger Dimmesdale, who struggles with immense guilt over their affair. His health deteriorates as he hides his sin, revealing the physical toll that unconfessed guilt can take on the human spirit. Meanwhile, Hester's estranged husband, Roger Chillingworth, arrives in town and, under the guise of a physician, dedicates himself to discovering and punishing Hester's lover. When he realizes that Dimmesdale is the man, Chillingworth begins a campaign of psychological torture, intensifying the minister's internal torment. Throughout the story, Hester becomes a resilient, compassionate figure. She transforms the Scarlet Letter from a symbol of shame to one of strength. Her public suffering and acts of kindness gradually shift the townspeople's perception, and they begin to see her as a valuable member of the community. In contrast, Dimmesdale suffers in silence, his guilt compounding as he fails to confess his sin publicly, which leads to his physical and mental decline. The climax of the novel occurs when Dimmesdale, overwhelmed by guilt and nearing death, climbs the scaffold with Hester and Pearl, and not publicly confessing his sin and acknowledging Pearl as his daughter. He dies shortly afterward, finally freed from his burden. Chillingworth, who has lost his purpose with Dimmesdale's death, withers away soon after. Hester, now liberated from her past, continues to live a life of quiet strength, even returning to the village years later after a brief absence. The Scarlet Letter explores the harshness of Puritan society, the complexities of sin, and the possibility of redemption. Hester's journey from shame to dignity underscores the novel's message about resilience and the human capacity for change. Her relationship with Dimmesdale highlights the destructive power of hidden guilt, contrasting with her own transparent suffering, which ultimately leads to growth and acceptance. Through rich symbolism, the Scarlet Letter, the scaffold, and Pearl herself, Hawthorne delves into moral ambiguity and the consequences of societal judgment. Hester's Scarlet A evolves from a mark of disgrace to a sign of strength, suggesting that identity can be redefined through courage and self-acceptance. The novel stands as a powerful reflection on the nature of sin, the strength of the human spirit, and the enduring impact of redemption.